8 characters, very good, perfect. Direct translation. 八 is 8 字 is character, so 八字 is 8 characters. So that's absolutely correct. That's one answer you can definitely say. But basically, 八字 is the study of time, space, and our connection to cosmic vibrational energy. Yes, of course, it's the 8 characters, but this is actually the concept of 八字 itself. So it's based on the idea that everything is vibration. So the ancient Chinese, right, when they started studying this was already the idea that they had, that everything is vibration. And true enough, science also has shown that every atom is in constant motion. It is constantly vibrating, right? It is creating vibrations of specific frequencies. So everything around us is all actually vibrating all the time, even if we may not be able to see. We are also made up atoms, and it's all constantly vibrating. So what this means is that we are enmeshed within this universal vibration. None of us are separate from each other. We are all connected by this vibration. Matter, things that are alive, things that seem to be dead, all are actually all combined with this vibration, basically. So what is 八字 then? Okay, look at this baby over here. Basically, 八字 is the study of. In ancient China, they believe that heaven, earth, and humans are all part of the same system, right? So when a baby is born and it takes its first breath, that's when it enters the cosmic vibrational energy. So that's why your 八字 is based on the moment of time you are born, the year, the month, the day, and the hour that you are born, based on when you took your first breath.
Is that you?
No, this is a stock image, baby. Thank you, baby, for contributing your services. Yeah. So basically, it becomes your life blueprint. Okay. So over here at the side, right? Whenever we use the Chinese characters, there will be some like the Hanyu Pinyin, so you can see how it's pronounced, as well as the translation. Because today we have with us some non-Chinese speakers, so hopefully this can help you guys understand better. But if you have any questions at all, also feel free to answer. Okay. And then anyone else of us, if we speak Chinese, let's also do a quick translation so that everyone in the class can understand as well. Yeah. Okay. So 八字 is your life blueprint as distilled into the 8 characters based on the time, day, month, and year of your birth. And from this, right, there's a lot of things that you can read from it, okay? But before we go into that, right, so you may be wondering, okay, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. All of you are already here for the 八字 workshop, right? But if 八字 is real, how come it's not acknowledged anywhere else? How come we don't learn in school? How come we don't learn it as part of how to take care of ourselves or things like that? And it brings us to the question of ancestral knowledge, right? So this 八字 is an ancient system. It has been studied for centuries, right? Back when the emperor wanted to find out more about how to extend his life and do all these different things, he got the scholars to come and start to study the world, right? And then come up with these sort of like understandings, right? So then the idea is actually what knowledge we have right now is delegitimized and legitimized. When we go to school, what do we learn? How come we don't learn 八字, right? And a lot of it goes back to colonialism, right? The idea that when European colonial powers came, they were like, hey, let's throw out this knowledge. Our knowledge is better. So I actually wanted to bring up 2 examples to share in today's class to kind of touch a bit about this point. So in Chinese medical system, right, there's this idea of qi, like everyone has qi, and there's the meridian system, which acupuncture is based on. And a lot of times you're like, acupuncture is fake, this is not real medical science, whatever. But recently, right, Western science has started to acknowledge a 3rd circulatory system, which is the meridian system. So before this, they thought that there's the lymphatic system as well as the circulatory system, right? And they thought that there's only 2 systems in the body. But now Western science has finally caught up and said, no, actually there's a 3rd system. And so there's this article in the New York Times, okay, this is not some random China website, this is the New York Times. They actually published an article about how this circulatory system has recently been discovered by Western science. So they gave it their own name, the interstitium. So that's what they called it. But basically, it actually maps onto the meridian system, which the Chinese have known about for centuries. So that's one example of how, what we see as legitimate knowledge, actually, maybe it's just, has been debunked because of other reasons. Another example is that, there was this Chinese scientist, right, who actually looked at the ancient traditional Chinese medicine text and found a cure for malaria. So it's actually there all along in the text, right? But then, because it was forgotten and put aside, people didn't realize it was there. So she went to look at all these old texts and was like, hey, actually the answers are here all along. And so she actually won a Nobel Prize for finding this and coming up with this cure for malaria. So yeah, I thought these were just some 2 interesting examples to share before we go a bit more into understanding our own knowledge. So, as we mentioned,